Ministry spaces need to be retooled. This church, Dan will talk about in just a minute, this church built in the 70s was probably one of the last of its kind with a shotgun-style building of this size. They all went to different styles of buildings. We're constantly having to retool this facility. It's not a perfect place. We have a lot of barriers we have to overcome. We haven't overcome all of them, but we're constantly changing the spaces. I noticed in Scripture, I was just recently over in Europe and saw this Colosseum firsthand, but this is how the Colosseums, were converted. They used to be places where fights with animals or even gladiators were. Paul transformed it into a church. They took upper rooms and made them places of worship. They changed the temples out under Constantinople and made them into places of Christian worship. So we have to be thinking about retooling our facilities and making them effective. And again, I'm not going to take time with these pictures because Dan's going to show you a lot better ones in just a moment. Number 6, enhance your existing ministries while starting new relevant ministries. Some people say, if we're going to focus on all this new stuff, what happens to the stuff that we already have in place? You never have the privilege of neglecting what you already have, but you have to go beyond that with some new and relevant stuff. I recommend 4 areas of examination. Life groups. This is where people do life together. Relationships building. They experience joys together. They celebrate together. They are there for each other when their children are born. They're there to support each other when family members pass. They're doing life together. Support groups, people that have needs for support like Celebrate Recovery or Turning Point. They have life-controlling habits, situations that need to be developed or improved upon in their life. Compassion ministries, ministries of outreach, getting your church missional. There's all kinds of ways to do that, from homeless, community outreach, local schools, elder care, disaster relief. The list is endless on what you can do to mobilize your people in ministry. And fourthly, multiple services. I was working with a denominational group down in Florida that was struggling a little bit, and they were trying to figure out how to break and grow some new churches. They didn't have the money for church planning. And I said, if you took every one of your congregations that you have right now and you were willing to do multiple services in them, you could triple the number of churches that you have in 1 year. If every church that you have would do a language service, whether it's Spanish or Cuban or Puerto Rican or whatever you want to do, if you do a language service, and then if you would do a service that is ultra-contemporary, find you a young couple who would like to be church planners, who are going to do music and ministry the way that you're not comfortable with doing it, but give them access to your building to do that ministry. You could have 3 churches on one campus, and every facility could be used multiple ways. You saw the signage around ours. We have Latino, we have African International, we have traditional, we have contemporary. We're mixing it up because if I only had one service at 11 o'clock on Sunday morning, our attendance here at Faith would be half of what it is today. But because I have different languages, different styles, different times, we are twice the size of what we would normally be by having just one service on a Sunday morning.